Hello my dear students, in this video we will discuss regarding the impact of the reform movement. Students, we have discussed in the chapter that various reform movements started in India to remove the social evils from the society and especially the social evils related to the women's. And all these reform movements were able to change the views of the people to some extent only. Apart from that, more changes came in the society, more reform came in the society by the coming of the legal measures. So here we will see in the impact of the reform movement that because of these reform movement, then the government was also be able to make certain laws to stop these kind of the social evils. Like some laws were passed to eradicate these social evils. Like reform movement was started by the Raja Ram Mohan Roy regarding the abolition or the ban of the sati system. But he was able to get his goal more by the coming of the law on that in the year 1829. The law led to the ban of the sati pratha, sati system in India. Okay, so students, these dates are very much important for your competitive exams also. Okay, like the question come in a way that when sati system was banned in India, so it was legally, it was banned in the year 1829. In the year 1856, Widow Remarry Act was passed, and according to this act, the widows were allowed to legally to remarry again. In year 1872, Native Marriage Act passed. What is this Native Marriage Act? This act allowed the intercaste marriages and helped in dissolving the caste barricades, because at that time, now also to some extent, when you go to the small cities or the village area, you see that the caste barriers are so much. So this Native Marriage Act helped the society in dissolving these caste barrier by promoting the intercaste marriages, means the marriage of the person from one caste to another caste. Otherwise, it is not the thing which was acceptable in the society. And students, remember one important thing, that when the laws come related to these social evils, to remove these social evils, at that time also the people were not ready to accept these laws also, and they tried to do away these laws, means they tried to not follow these laws. In the year 1901, Gaikwads of Baroda, this is the community of Baroda, Baroda is in Gujarat, passed Infant Marriage Prevention Act. Infant is a child which is of very small age, like 3, 4, 5 up to the 6, 7 year of age. So at that time the infants were married, means before at a very early age the childs were married. So this act extend the age marriage age of the girls to the 12 years, means according to the law the girls were, it was illegal to marry a girl below the age of the 12 year, and the boys age, minimum age were fixed to the 16 year. The act known as Infant Marriage Prevention Act. Later on in the year 1929, means just 100 years after ban of sati, remember like this, Child Marriage Restriction Act came, and this act increased the age of the girls and the boys of the marriage. Like earlier, according to the Infant Marriage Prevention Act, the age of the girl to get married was 12. It was extended to 14 years, and boy age extended from 16 to 18 years. Okay, and now see the difference between the name of both the act. Here the infant is there, because at that time the children were married at a very early age, like the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of age children were married. So firstly they stopped that infant marriage. That's why infant marriage is named here, and here child marriage. When the law came to related to this, then the age of girls and boys were fixed. Then this is the age of the children. That's why now the for increasing the age, the act come with the name of a child marriage. And here prevention. Prevention means rokna, and here restriction. Okay, a restriction act. So this is the difference in the name. Remember the differences. Now another this act, Child Marriage Restriction Act, is also famous by the name of a Sharda Act. Okay, another act came known as the Bengal Regulation of 1795-1804, and this led to the ban of female infanticide. Female infanticide means when a girl child born, they were killed because people at that time prefer a boy child. That's why the law came related to that also, to prevent the infant, to ban the female infanticide. Infanticide is killing the child before birth or at the time of birth when they know the gender of the child. So students, what you have to do, you have to remember the this thing you have to remember in which year which act is passed, so that the thing will help you to know that the reform movement started in this year, and in this year it was banned legally. So what these reformers achieved, by combining both the things, you can know their achievement, how much they achieved themselves, and how much these laws help them to achieve their target. Okay, and these are also important from the competitive point of view. Now students, till now we studied the social evils in the society related to the women's. Now we are coming to another side, that is the social evils which were there related to the caste system, especially the evils which were related to the ill treatments of the scheduled caste people, which are known as the Dalit people. Okay, so here we study the topic caste reform. British rule created new jobs in new cities. Students, this thing, when Britishers came to India, with the Britishers, later on the Industrial Revolution also came in India, and because of that many new industries were set up, and those industries helped the new cities to build up. Apart from that, earlier the Britishers came to India through the waterway. So the port town were of great importance. Port town, beta, the town where the ports are there, through which the Britishers came. Earlier the important port towns before the coming of the Britishers were Hooghly, Surat and Masulipatam. But later on when Britishers came, then the another port town became important, like the Calcutta, Bombay, Madras. These cities developed after the coming of the Britishers, because Britishers established their industries, their factories. Factories, beta, at that time we call the factories to the godowns, where the Britishers kept their goods. Okay, so they make their factories in these areas. That's why these cities started developing. So these were the new cities which were developed by the time of the Britishers, and these new cities also opened the job opportunities to many people. So the people belonging to the lower caste or the scheduled caste got the good opportunity to go to these cities, because they were having no land with them. They only depend on these small kind of the works. That's why they prefer to go to the new cities to find the job over there. This thing improved their economic status, and side by side their social status also. So lower caste people got job opportunity to work in factories as well as the tea plantation which flourished by the coming of the Britishers. When these people got the job opportunity there, through this their economic status improved. The example of this you can see during the time of First World War. There was a scheduled caste in Andhra Pradesh region known as the Madigas. Madigas were the Dalit people, the untouchable people in the region of the Andhra Pradesh, which did the work of they were mainly the leather workers. So during the time of the First World War, these people provided the soldiers the leather shoes. And those leather shoes during the time of the World War, were all in so much demand. That's why their sale was too good, and through that sale they were able to earn so much, and which improved their economic condition, economic status. As you can see, Madigas of Andhra Pradesh made leather shoes for British soldiers during the time of First World War. Caste system became, caste system was not always there in the Indian society. During the time of a Vedic period, early Vedic period, means Rig Veda. In Rig Veda, there is no mention of the caste system. But later on, in the later Vedic period, the caste system became rigid, strong. And with the passing of the time, it keep on becoming more stronger. So what these social reformers did for eradicate these social evil from the society, this thing I told you earlier also, they tried to find the verses from the ancient religious texts like the Vedas and quote them to mention that these kind of the caste distinction is nowhere there in the religious texts which we are following now. So these are of no use. Like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he also, as he worked for the improving the status of women, apart from that he also worked for the removing the caste system. He objected birth privileges which were there in the society on the basis of the birth, like when Brahman is there and when Shudra is there. So these are the, if you are born in any of the family, you are having no role in that. That is all because of the will of the God. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy objected the birth privilege. So why should I get the privilege when there is no contribution from my side in taking the birth in any of the family? So he said this thing. Apart from that, he also encouraged the inter-caste marriages to break these caste barriers. According to him, when people started marrying in another caste, then these caste barriers are easily to be broken. Apart from Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahadev Ranade, he also worked for the abolition of the untouchability. Ved Samaj was established in Madras in 1864 to fight against the caste-based discrimination, and this Ved Samaj was inspired by the Brahmo Samaj established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Apart from that, two more societies were established, like that of the Pratna Samaj, which worked for the equality of all castes, means removing the caste discrimination. Apart from that, Paramhans Mandali, which was established in Bombay in 1840s, it also worked for the abolition of the caste system. And who established this Paramhans Mandali? Ramakrishna Paramhans.